Hey there, folks. Today we want to compare these two irrational numbers and we want to find out which one is the larger one. So one way to compare two numbers is to subtract one of them from the other one and see whether the difference is positive or it is negative. So let's say we want to compare A with B. So if we subtract B from A, we have two cases. Either A minus B is positive, and that means that A is greater than B, or A minus B is negative, which means that A is the smaller one. Great, so let's go ahead and use this to compare our two numbers. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and subtract the second one from the first one. So we have the square root of 101 plus the square root of 103 minus the quantity, the square root of 99 plus the square root of 105. So we have the square root of 101 minus the square root of 99 plus the square root of 103 minus the square root of 105. Now, in order to get something out of this, I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two by their conjugate and then divide it by the same thing. So we're going to have the square root of 101 minus the square root of 99 multiplied by the square root of 101 plus the square root of 99, and then divided by the square root of 101 plus the square root of 99. And I'm going to actually do the same thing with these two, but before that, I'm going to take a negative out of these two to get minus the square root of 105 minus the square root of 103. So I multiply this by the square root of 105 plus the square root of 103, and I divide this by the same thing, which is the square root of 105 plus the square root of 103. Next, if we use the difference of two squares, on the top we have 101 minus 99, which is 2. And on the bottom we have the square root of 101 plus the square root of 99. For the second one, again, we have 2. And in the bottom, we have the square root of 105 plus the square root of 103. Now, notice that the square root of 99 is less than the square root of 103, right? And the square root of 101 is less than the square root of 105. So if I add these two, I can say that the square root of 99 plus the square root of 101 is less than the square root of 103 plus the square root of 105, which means that the denominator of our first fraction is less than the denominator of our second fraction. And since the numerators are equal, I can say that the first fraction is greater than the second one. And that means that this difference is positive. So we found out that the difference of the second one from the first one is something positive, which means that the greater one is this one. Great, so this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing for more contents like this, and hit the like button if you enjoyed watching this.